Okay, so, all right, so number 3, you mentioned your cheese as advisory board and your friends at St. James Cheese Company in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So tell us about their role in the development of the book.
I mean, I just think you can't learn without people to learn from and learn with. And so I started this book when I still lived in New York City in Brooklyn, and I reached out to a group of friends and colleagues, and mainly people I like to be around, but also people whose palates and whose tasting experiences I really admire and respect, and asked them if they would taste with me. I think I found over the years when I was running Murray's Cheese and we would taste as a group that, you know, everyone's palate is different, and my perceptions of flavor are not everyone's perceptions of flavor. And it's really helpful. A big focus of the book for me was trying to define flavor. What are these cheeses supposed to taste like? And not just wet stone or mown grass, but like really consistently and predictably, what can we say these cheeses taste like? And so I wanted to do that with a group of people. And then when I moved from Brooklyn to New Orleans, I had the great good fortune of coming to a town that has a really fantastic independent specialty cheese shop, which is called St. James Cheese Company, owned by Rich Sutton and his wife Danielle, who I've known for years. But there were and are great people who work there, great mongers, and I would go there to write, and I would get cheese, and I can't write about cheese without eating it. So I was able to taste and write, and then kind of confer with the people around me and get their opinions and perspectives. And you know, the book is my categorization and my opinions about flavor and aroma, but it was so helpful to be able to kind of bounce that off of people during the writing process. So
a question, did you get into any arguments?
Yes, of course, you always get into arguments. Yeah. But it was funny because they were more about things like, you know, one of the challenges of the book is if I'm trying to map the world of cheese out from these 9 gateway cheeses, like when I taste something, is it more like a cheddar or is it more like Havarti? And why? And what would a person buying cheese be most likely to associate a random American farmstead cheese with? So we had there were heated discussions about that more than anything. But it was really rewarding to see that when you actually started to put some language to these things, kind of universally people agreed with the direction and the context. So that was great.
Sounds like fun.
Yes, we ate a lot of cheese.
I bet you did. Okay, so let's see. Number 4, what are your readers saying about your new book? I
mean, I feel like luckily people don't email you to be nasty. They mainly email you to be kind and appreciative. But I mean, I've gotten really great feedback from, you know, via social media and having just total strangers email me to say that they've enjoyed the book, but really what I've loved hearing is that it's been helpful to them, and that, you know, people say to me, I can use this when I go shopping. I look at the book and I think about what I want, and I make a list of like 5 things that you say I'm probably gonna like, and then I go to the store and maybe all 5 aren't available, but 1 or 2 are, and that's how I'm sort of branching out from the same stuff I always get. And I'm finding that you're right, I do like it, and it's been successful. So that's been, I mean, I'm very practical, and I want to make something that is utilitarian. I find that very satisfying. So when people tell me they've used it to shop and it's worked, then I feel like I've accomplished my job.
So are you talking specifically about the mapping that you included in the book? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Really interesting the way that works. I tried to show, when I was practicing, I was showing the book, holding it up to the thing, and it's crooked, and it just didn't work out, but I don't have a graphic of it. But I love the way you did the variation of intensities from left to right.
Yeah.
Right is very strong, left is a little more mild, and then up up on the vertical scale was the availability of it, grocery store availability versus at the top was specialty stores. And I like to kind of look around in the middle and see, you know, what was in the middle.
And I didn't want to have a book that was all full of 400 cheeses that you can only get from like 3 mail order sources nationwide, because that's not, I'm interested in hitting the masses. So there are going to be those people who want to spend hundreds of dollars having cheese FedEx to their house, and God bless them. I love those people. And there are some amazing cheeses that only they will be able to access.
My husband is one of those.
Yeah, but that's not everybody. That's not most people. So I like that middle section too. It's like.
Okay, so in conclusion, I noticed that Ari Weinswag wrote a blurb about your book.
Yeah, from Zingerman's. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he says, once you read it, you'll be hooked. Great cheese will be a big part of your eating for the rest of your life. I agree.
Oh, thank you. That's the goal.
I do love that. And it was, you've got some really nice blurbs too, by the way.
Thank you. Well, I'm very appreciative of that support, and also glad those folks like the book.
Okay, and one more thing, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the photography.
Yeah.
Ellen Silverman was phenomenal.
Yeah, she shot everything in natural light.
Wow, I did not know it was possible.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing.
Okay, I'm going to tell the audience how to reach you and me. So we'll start with your website. It's lizthorpe.com.
That's
lizthorpe.com. And healthycheeselady.com is me, and that's where you can reach us. Do you have any other things to add?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like you've given a great overview, and I think that, you know, my goal was to write, if you were someone who wanted one book about cheese that would take you through the next 10 to 15 years, that this would be the book. And that was really my goal. And I think that I've accomplished that. The world of cheese changes so quickly now. It's always expanding and growing and changing. But, you know, I wanted something that was for consumers and also could be really useful for the professional community. And I was still recommending Cheese Primer, which is a book that's 20 years old, when people said, oh, I want to learn about cheese, like one general book, what do I buy? So I hope that we can, you know, jump into the 21st century.
I love it. Well, thank you so much again, and have a wonderful weekend.